Welcome, y'all. This is Dawn. This is Kodiak. Getting ready to do a little bit of yoga here tonight. It's a nice calming practice to just stretch out any sore muscles you have, especially in the legs. I'll just take about 15 minutes, gentle practice to just get ready, maybe before bed or maybe to start the day, but just to kind of recenter yourself, ground, and get a little bit of a stretch. So as you're ready, just find your way to the ground. I'm going to start seated, sitting up nice and tall. You can be on a yoga mat or maybe a towel, but just somewhere where you feel comfortable. And just really kind of feel grounded through your sits bones. So sitting up nice and tall, feeling really rooted through the ground, finding a nice lift though through the upper body, and maybe lifting the chin gently so the top of your head is reaching towards the sky. You can start with the hands, palms face down on your knees if you need a little bit more grounding right now, or you can bring them face up if you want a little bit more energy, if you have more to do today. I'm going to start with them facing down. And we're just going to close our eyes for a moment or soften your gaze and just connect with your breath. We'll take nice, probably 3 or 4 deep breaths together. So first with your exhale, we're going to take a big inhale through the nose for a 4 count. And as you exhale through the nose or the mouth for a 4 count, maybe 5 or 6, just kind of slowing things down. Big last one, nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. And we'll just start finding some gentle movements, maybe warming up the neck, so sitting up nice and tall, then dropping one ear to one shoulder. And I stretch through the side of the body, side of the ear, side of the neck, maybe dropping that other hand down, getting a little bit more extension. And coming through center, bringing the chin to chest. And we'll take it to the other side. And then maybe taking your hand out to the side again. And maybe coming back through center. And either taking it one more time, holding it each side, or maybe just making some gentle circles or rocking it back and forth. And as you're ready, just sitting up nice and tall. From here, we'll move to the arms, so just take them out to your sides. Then maybe planting that left hand, reaching that right arm all the way up and all the way over. And nice stretch through that side body. And then we'll come back through center, nice big T shape, really maybe pulling the fingers back in space. And then switching sides, planting the right hand, reaching that left one up, reaching all the way up and overhead. Taking it back to that T shape. And we'll do one more time each side, just finding some nice grounding through the hand and through the sits bones and the legs, and then finding a nice lift through that upper body. And we'll take it back to that T shape, and then last one, other side. And then coming slowly back to center, and then taking one hand, so taking that right hand to that left knee and that left hand behind, sitting up nice and tall. And then slowly unraveling, coming through center, and then taking it to the other side. And coming back through center. Then we'll make our way to our hands and knees, coming to a table position. So here you're going to want to find nice alignment, letting those wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing up, lifting that upper back up, and finding a nice extension through the neck. And we're going to drop into our cat-cow, so we're going to inhale, and we're going to drop the belly to look up. And as we exhale, rounding through the spine, bringing the chin to the chest, dropping the tailbone down. Taking this like 3 more times, big inhale, dropping the belly to look up. And then big exhale, chin to chest, rounding through the spine. Just following your own breath, adding any more you might need to, or slowing it down or speeding it up. And then maybe adding a little bit of a wiggle through the hips, swaying side to side, maybe looking underneath the armpits to find a little bit more stretch. You might come a little bit more back or coming a little bit more forward. Taking this a couple more rounds here. As you're ready, just coming back to that table shape. And a little bit of a stretch through the upper body. We're gonna thread the needle. So we're gonna inhale to reach that left arm all the way up to the sky first. And we're gonna take that arm all the way underneath us, down onto the ground, bringing that shoulder to the ground and the forehead to the ground. Your right hand might stay where it is. You might reach it up and take it towards the center of your back. And remembering to breathe, just noticing how that bottom shoulder feels. You can always move your hand back. And then we'll all bring our right hand back, use it to press ourselves up, reaching up, taking a little bit more rope twist one more time, and then exhale to release. And then we're gonna switch sides. Inhale to reach the other arm up, and then exhale to bring it through. Again, that left hand might stay where it is, or maybe you reach it up to the sky and take it to the center of your back. And then we'll take that hand back to the mat if you've moved it. Use it to push yourselves up, reaching up. And then exhale to release. Then let's take a child's pose, so taking the big toes to touch, spreading the knees nice and wide, maybe as wide as the yoga mat. Shifting your hips back, reaching your hands forward. Forehead maybe comes to the mat. Remembering to breathe here. You can keep those elbows lifted, or maybe you lower them. Just really noticing how it feels in your shoulders and your back. This feels really tight. You can always come back up. You can always skip this pose, or if you've got some great pillows, you can always put one underneath you here. Our next inhale, we'll just come all the way back up to the table. Bring those legs back together. We're gonna take one downward facing dog. So we're gonna tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, reach the hips up to the sky, and reach the heels down. You might bend one knee and then the other, since this is our first one and our only one we're gonna do today. Just kind of pedaling out the legs, trying to keep those hips up high. And then just slowly finding some stillness. The heels are gonna come towards the mat. But as you can see, like mine don't come all the way down, and that's okay. Try and get those hips a little higher. You might shake the head yes and no here. And then we're just gonna lower the knees back down and come back to our seat. From our seated position, we're gonna first make our way to our Janu Sirsasana, which is like our one-legged runner stretch. So we'll extend that left leg nice and long and bring that right foot in. Gently turning towards your outstretched leg, we're gonna inhale to reach the arms all the way up, and then exhale as we fold forward, reaching towards the toes, letting your hands just rest somewhere on your leg. Connecting with your breath. Maybe feeling a nice stretch through the hamstrings and the calves here. With your next inhale, we'll just slowly roll it up. Then we're going to take this bent leg and bring it across. So if your left leg is long, you're going to use your left arm to hug that right knee in. And then take that right hand up to the sky and drop it behind you. Taking a little twist here, and a little hamstring or hip stretch here. And then we'll slowly unravel, extend both legs nice and long, maybe a little shake out, and then we'll switch sides. Flexing the toes towards the face, turning gently towards the outstretched leg, then inhale, reaching up, and our exhale, we fold forward. Again, connecting with your breath here, and then stretch through the hamstring and through your leg. And then we just slowly roll it up and take this leg across again. So if the right leg is long, that right arm is going to hug the left knee into the chest. You might stay here, you might reach the left hand up and drop it behind you. And then with your next inhale, we'll unravel, extend both legs nice and long, maybe we'll give them a little shake out. And we can take a cobbler's pose where we take the soles of the feet together. Your feet can come out or in as much as feels comfortable. And just trying to sit up nice and tall for a moment. Hands might come to the feet. Maybe give your feet a little foot massage, give them a little some love and attention. Something we don't do nearly enough. And then finding some grounding, sitting up nice and tall. And then maybe rounding forward. Bring those elbows towards the knees. Maybe they just rest gently. Maybe they add a little weight to find a little bit more opening through the hips. And then with your next inhale, we just slowly bring it back up. I'll take the hands to the knees and just gently bring them up together. And then from here, we're just gonna make our way onto our backs. So coming down onto your back, extending the neck nice and long on the mat, bringing the knees into the chest. You could take your hands to your knees and just pull them in a little bit closer. Maybe you bring your nose up to your knees and come into a little ball. And then gently lowering the head and neck. Rocking forward and back or side to side. Giving your back a little bit of a massage. We're going to do a couple rounds of bridges, just because they're good for strengthening, but also for grounding. So just here for a moment, we're just going to play with our pelvis tilts. So we're going to press the knees away. Just really notice how your tailbone comes down, and maybe you have a little bit of space through the lower back. And then when you bring them in, noticing how your lower back kind of flattens and your tailbone lifts. You want to feel this kind of flattening with the tailbone lifted before we start our bridges. So just playing with it here, just kind of noticing what it feels like to tilt your pelvis. And then we'll just slowly plant the feet, walk them closer in, extend the hands, palms face down, reaching towards the heels. Pressing through the palms, pressing through the feet evenly. So you're gonna have your shins forward. You're gonna try to keep your knees parallel, or you can imagine holding a block between them. And then we're just gonna play with tilting the pelvis first so that the tailbone starts to lift, and then pressing through the feet, lifting the hips up off the ground, coming into your bridge. We're gonna do 3 of these. So maybe this one you just stay here, neck is nice and long, chest to chin, chin to sky. And then as we're ready to get out of it, just trying to lower slowly one vertebrae at a time. Connecting with your breath once again, we'll do 2 more. So first we slowly tilt the pelvis, and then we press up on an inhale. If you're feeling okay here, you have a little bit more mobility in the shoulders, you can always come onto the sides of the shoulders and interlace the fingers underneath you. You can always keep your hands just where they are. And then again, trying to be mindful to keep those knees parallel. And then move the hands out of the way and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. And then get ready for our last one. As we're ready, slowly tilting the pelvis and then pressing up. And then slowly coming all the way back down. I'll bring the knees back into the chest. Again, pull them closer in. And then we're going to take a nice reclined twist. So we'll take those arms out wide to a T shape. And we're going to inhale and drop the knees over to one side. If you bring your knees to the right, you're going to maybe extend that left arm long, trying to keep that left arm on the ground, and maybe gazing towards your left hand. And then with your inhale, we'll come through center. And then with your exhale, I just got to shift over because I'm a little close to my wall. I'm going to drop the knees over to the other side. Your knees are to the left. You might gaze gently towards your right fingers. As you're ready, we'll slowly come back up through center. Plant the feet down, bring those arms back towards your sides. We're gonna get ready for our figure 4 shape. Nice little hip stretch. You're gonna bring that right foot across the left foot, opening through the hip. You might stay here, or you might bring that right knee into, or the left knee into the chest, interlace the fingers, flexing through the feet. Really just noticing how this feels in that hip. Remembering to breathe, and you can always pull it in a little closer, or a little farther out, depending on how it feels. I like to do this reclined pitch lying down because you have a lot more control over all the variables, and it can be more comfortable for your knees. You don't have to worry about balance. And then we'll slowly release. We'll uncross the leg, and then we'll switch sides. And the left foot across the right, opening through the left hip. And then the right foot might stay on the ground, or maybe you bring it into the chest, flex through the feet, interlace the fingers around the thigh. My left side's always a lot tighter than the right side, and so just being really mindful of how your two sides might feel. And as you're ready, slowly releasing. This time we're going to bring that right knee into the chest, interlace the fingers around the shin again, pulling it up towards your shoulder. Your left foot can stay planted, or maybe you extend that leg nice and long. Just really noticing how that feels in your low back, and you can always come back. And then we're going to take that right knee into the right hand and just opening it out wide. And a similar shape stretch as we did with the cobbler's pose, but just on one side at a time. It's always nice to do these one-sided things. And then we'll bring it back up through center. And then we're going to take that right knee into the left hand. And we're going to take a twist, bringing it all the way across the body. And then you might extend your right arm out. Just get a little bit more stretch through that arm and the upper body. Or you can just keep it in and keep it a little bit more of a compact grounding stretch. And as we're ready, we'll just slowly come back through center, bringing both knees into the chest. And then we're just going to switch sides. So again, you might plant the right leg down, bringing that left knee towards the shoulder, or maybe extending that leg nice and long. And then first taking that left knee into the left hand and opening it out wide. And then coming through center, and then taking that left knee into the right hand and taking it all the way across the body, and then maybe extending that left arm out, or maybe just keeping it down towards your side. And we'll slowly bring it all back up. Bring both knees into the chest. Maybe reaching feet up to the sky. Hands can come to your shins or to your feet for our happy baby posture. You might find a little bit of playfulness moving around the legs. And then slowly coming back down. We're going to take the feet kind of wide, about as wide as the yoga mat. And then we're just going to drop both knees to one side. So if your knees are to the left, you might feel a stretch through the right quadricep here. Maybe through the hip and the obliques. And then we'll come back through center. We'll take it to the other side. Again, this time you might, if your knees are to the right, you might feel it more through your left knee, left quad. And bring it back to center. And then taking it a couple more times. And then from here, we're just going to make our way to our final Shavasana posture, our final resting posture. We won't stay here for too long, but we'll give you a couple options. So you can stay with your feet wide as the yoga mat and the knees in towards each other. This is our constructive rest posture. Your hands might come to the ground, or they might stay on your belly. This is really nice, especially if you have any low back tension. It can be a great place to just kind of hang out for a few breaths. Or we can take the traditional corpse pose shape, extending the legs nice and long. Your palms might be face up. You might tuck the shoulders under a little bit. If it feels okay, you might gently close your eyes. We just take these restorative postures at the end, just for a few moments to just feel grounded, to thank yourself for showing up on your mat today and taking the time to find a little bit of stretching. And just to reconnect with the breath. Also provides a good practice to connect with the breath. Bring your focus to your mat. And sometimes our minds really start to get active as our body starts to get quiet, and it's really a good practice of just always coming back. Those thoughts are always going to be there, and you don't have to follow them. You can just return to your quiet space. So stay here for a few more moments. And then you can stay here as long as you want, or we can take the hands together, hands to heart center. and just say thank you for showing up today and have a great evening.